Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Kimberly. Today we have a very special webinar. The first time ever, we invited Kimberly Lloyd, the Life Farm Executive R&D Science, to talk about our products, Laminine and Lamiderm Apex. So we cannot wait to hear this information. And Kimberly, welcome to the call. I know you're very knowledgeable. You know what we don't know. So we're dying to hear all information from you today.
Very good. Thank you, Irene. Always it's delightful to work with you and your groups, and we all admire and respect you so much.
Thank you.
And your positive personality. Thank you. So today what we're going to discuss is Laminine and Lamiderm Apex Serum. Now, both of these products contain the exclusive Life Farm egg extract. And so I'm going to give you a little information about what's so special about the Life Farm fertilized chicken egg. Now, as you know, in fertilization, that means that the male chicken and the female chicken must get together to form a fertilized egg that can later become a chick. Next. And it's important how these chickens are raised. They're in a very quality farm here on the West Coast. This man is devoted to raising cage-free chickens, so he'll get quality eggs. And then we have a special process, Mr. Ciento, whereby he will take the fertilized eggs and then put them in an incubator with the quality controlled temperature and rotating those eggs gently so that they are 9 days in their fertilization stage and are beginning their embryonic development. This provides a consistent egg product. There's no heat or chemicals used in processing. The chickens are fed high-quality grains, and the drying process then for the egg extract is hygienic, but it's very low heat, almost no heat, so that the factors, the growth factors that are in this fertilized egg will be viable and active. Too much heat would destroy them. So the fertilized egg, as you realize then, is different than the egg that you buy at the grocery store. That tends to be a non-fertilized egg. The fertilized egg is going to become a chick. So it has got all kinds of growth factors ready to start to make bone, skin, health, organs, all the different brain, all the different organs in the body. And this little egg then is going to soon turn into a chicken. So we're taking advantage a little bit of Mother Nature in this phase so that when we consume this fertilized avian egg with this process, we're getting some of the very same factors. And this is why we see so many beautiful testimonies about working with the Laminine and how it seems to improve health and wellness in various capacities. So again, those biofactors are going to turn into skin, bone, etc. So now what we did recently, we went to Dr. Alexander Hynek, who worked with us for about a year. We wanted to see some of the biochemistry of the egg extract. He was a surgeon in his early career, a heart surgeon. He's a brilliant man. He works at the Toronto Medical School where he has a laboratory because he was interested in heart. Blood vessels, by the way, are very similar to skin. So he works with actual human skin cells. So when they do an operation like a facelift, or maybe they do an operation of some sort, they're able to save some of that skin from the human and from women, and then they are able to work in the laboratory with those very same skin cells and this can give us a lot of knowledge about what goes on as far as activating those skin cells. So you'll look at this slide. This demonstrates cell proliferation. So what happens is the red dots are cells, are skin cells, and the yellow dots are proliferating cells. So in the bottom set of slides, he's added the egg extract to those cells, and you will notice more yellow cells. Those are proliferating, growing, healthy cells, and we see on the graph, we've graphed it out, we're getting about 40% more proliferating cells when the egg extract is added to those skin cells. Well, this is a good thing because that means that skin cells like the egg extract. It's healthy for them. They're growing and multiplying. Not over multiplying, but a nice boost to those fibroblasts, skin cells. So obviously when we look at skin and we got this data back, we thought, my goodness, this would be a good thing to put into a cosmetic. And so we formulated the Lamiderm Apex Bioserum. And we looked at a lot of ingredients, Mr. Cianto. We looked at many, many ingredients. Well, then when we started to study the egg and see what Dr. Hynek found out, we wanted to make a serum that would contain the Life Farm egg. So now that brings us then to skincare. We know that over time, sun damage, the gravity, air pollution, radiation, poor diet, lack of sleep, and stress can take their toll on our skin and cause it to age. And we all want to look better. Aging, of course, is natural, but we want to look as good as we can. And, of course, that means that we get sagging skin and wrinkled skin, or skin can become too dry, and age spots. The sun, over almost everyone over 60 years old will have age spots, dark spots, and nobody likes the appearance of those. So what we look at one more time, just to review our dermatology, is that if you look at young skin under the microscope, you see threads like a cross-linked fence. These fibers, one of them is called collagen, one of them is called elastin, and then we also got to see another one that showed up in our evaluations called fibronectin. Now, collagen is what's responsible for skin firmness, and elastin is the stretchability of the skin and its suppleness, and fibronectin is involved in tissue and scar repair. So then, excuse me, what he did is he put the skin cells in the test tubes, and in the left graph, left pictures, you see blue. That's the cell, staining blue. Now the green is the threads of collagen. These cells secrete collagen. In the lower, you see more green. So these cells in the lower graph or picture have been treated with the egg extract. So much more green threads. Bring me a water. The second slide is yellow or orange. The cells are orange colored. Again, the green threads with the egg extract are way far more abundant when we've added the egg to the cells, up to 200%. This is the fibronectin. This is the scar reduction thread. When you get a wound or burn yourself, you have to repair that wound. Again, the cells are staining orange, and the green thread threads show the abundance of fibronectin with the egg in the medium, up to 350%. So his investigation continued to identify several other growth factors that are in the Life Farm fertilized egg, and also an enzyme called lysyl oxidase. This is a cross-linker that helps these threads cross-link each other, making them even stronger. And this is a natural enzyme that occurs in your body as well around your connective tissue and your skin tissue. So it was fascinating to discover, or have him discover, other growth factors besides the fibroblast growth factor. There were other factors that are in the egg that stimulate collagen and elastin synthesis. And by the way, this is also important when you take it orally, because you're seeing the benefit to the skin tissue, to the connective tissue in the knees and the joints. These growth factors are real important that they've been further defined. Now this is called a scratch test. And what he does is he lays the cells in a petri dish, a flat dish in the laboratory, and then he takes a tool like a knife and he cuts down the middle of those cells. So if you're looking at the control graph on the left, like she's pointing to, you see cells on the left and cells on the right. Those little squiggly things are the skin cells. So now, when you make the cut down the middle and you wait, you see these cells begin to go from left to right. They signal each other, and that's like they're repairing a wound. And they start migrating across the cut. Now, if you look in the right side, the center, again, the center represents the cut. In the 2 hours, you see nothing. In 24 hours, you see these cells starting to migrate. And then in the bottom right-hand picture, look how flush it is with cells. Many more cells came across the cut in the group that was treated with the egg extract than the other one that was not treated. So when Dr. Hynek saw the results of this experiment, he said, my goodness, this activity is so important, because he said, I can almost tell you that this will also be good for stretch marks and scar tissue. So, because scar tissue and stretch marks, they don't have any collagen anymore. So this would be important, and we did some experiments and did see some scars fade. And so this is important too about the product. So again, in review, we know that these ingredients that are in the egg are helping to repair the collagen threads, the elastin threads, and the fibronectin. And they're actually stimulating the cells to secrete, to produce more of these threads. That's what the slides showed us as well, and the healing process. So this was very important information, and Dr. Hynek gave me permission as his colleague, and we submitted a paper to the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Dermatology and presented it and had it published in their journal. And we also thought it was important because Mr. Cianto, the CEO of Life Farm, goes to a lot of trouble to make this egg extract, to make it commercially available. That process, starting from the chickens and the hatching of the fertilized egg at the right time, and now we see all these biofactors that are important for why we see Laminine and Lamiderm function so well. Now, we of course added other good ingredients into the formula, and we infused it then, the egg, extract is in the product, and it's infused with an antioxidant fruit extract blend, which helps protect. Some of these antioxidants will also help protect from ultraviolet radiation from the sun, and they also show some repair activity. We also have added nourishing vitamin C, E, sunflower seed oil, CoQ10, and because another thing that we discovered, aloe vera is, you know, very well known, but a lot of people don't understand that aloe vera will form little compartments, and you get more absorption of other nutrients in an aloe vera base than other types of ingredients that you could use for a cosmetic. So the base of this product is good, rich aloe vera and the coconut oil, and these will naturally help the delivery system of the natural ingredients. Now, another group that we decided to add was also to make this a skin brightening and to perhaps fade dark spots. This is an available group of plants that have been studied, and they're from these alpine Swiss mountains, because those mountains are high and they don't have, once you get too high, you know, you have a higher altitude, you get more exposure. So a lot of these plants have developed mechanisms where they can resist sun damage. And these mechanisms also lighten the dark spots on human skin. It's the same chemical process. So these pretty herbs here that we're seeing, lady's mantle, even peppermint, a variety, yarrow, mallow, lemon balm, all of these have been shown when they're used together in a mixture, they help lighten dark spots. And it's a natural extract from plants. We've also added a unique blend of fruit extracts: kiwi, blueberry, pomegranate, cranberry. Now these fruits, like they're important to eat to get antioxidants, well, they're also active on the skin. The same antioxidants will soak into the skin and help repair damaged skin, and also in test studies shown to help repair radiation damage in the skin. Because remember, our skin on our face and hands almost all our lives is exposed to the sun, is exposed to pollution and those chemicals that are in the air. So that's why we want to use good antioxidants as well on our face to help repair some of that damage. Now this is a photograph. One of our studies used the Visia Canfield. That's the name of an instrument that's used in dermatology by dermatologists. It's published. It's one of the ones they like to use, and it takes a full or a side view of the face. So these ladies applied the Lamiderm day in the morning. On a clean face, you apply it in the morning, one or two pumps, apply over your face, and then apply moisturizer and then your makeup if you wear makeup. Then the protocol is at night, after you've cleansed your face, you apply it again to your neck and your face, and then you sleep with it. Now, if it's too dry, remember this is a thick, rich serum. This is not a moisturizer. So if you need a moisturizer, select another aloe vera based moisturizer, you know, some product that you're familiar with that you like. Okay, so what we see are the green lines here designating the wrinkles on this lady around the eye. And then you can see after her 6 weeks of application, a lot of those wrinkles are absolutely gone. Next. And then this lady, forehead wrinkles after application. Now this is a study. We're going to have some of this in the upcoming PDR this year's PDR, we published some of this data. This is using the skin cell analyzer, the skin analyzer that some of you have seen us use, Dr. Andahar. And this is a group of subjects that actually received Laminine. They took 2 Laminine daily for up to 6 months, and they applied Lamiderm. And with that instrument, we see highly significant changes in the elastin units. I'm just giving you one example here. 60% increase in elasticity units after 6 months using both Laminine and Lamiderm. Okay, thank you. Next. Excuse me. Now, I just got this in about 2 weeks ago and thought it was fascinating, and Mr. Cianto was so impressed too, obviously. There was a woman, and her mother is about 90 years old, and she had this terrible dry skin condition, and it cracked almost to the point where it would bleed. It was very painful. It went all over her body, and this lady did not know what to do. She tried everything, and so then the daughter, and she got on the internet and she found some information about Laminine, and so she was interested, and she called up the company and ordered a bottle of Laminine and said to her mother, who lives in another town, she said, would you please start taking this? Let's try it. So she took it 2 Laminine a day for about 2 months and began to see and notice that it was changing that dry skin condition. And then for an additional 3 months, she took it once a day, but she added digestive and omega. And she said it's unbelievable how her skin has improved within 5 months, continuing to take Laminine. She added a couple of the other products. And she said, my mom lives out of town, so I can't monitor her diet. And all I did was tell her to try and drink as much water. I knew water would be important to try and get her water level up. So this was a nice result to see, and this also lets us know from the physiological standpoint that those activators that are in that egg and are in the Laminine are working from the inside out. We have a lot of testimonies from people who get improved skin. Then what we did is we wanted to do another official study, and our director in Europe, France, knew of this facility called Dermatest. He said it's very well known throughout Europe. They really analyze cosmetic products, and if you get a seal of approval from this organization, he said, you've really proved a lot that you've got a good product. So we said okay, and we networked this protocol, and you have to do it on 20 subjects. They were women that were 40 years or older, so that they would have a wrinkle or wrinkles around the eyes, and they would have some dark spots that we could really evaluate, not a real young person. So they selected the instruments where they can measure wrinkle depth, actually how deep the wrinkle is, dark spot reduction with another instrument, and elasticity with an instrument called the cutometer. This is all good German dermatology technology using state-of-the-art equipment, to measure these things. And again, they applied it in the morning and the evening for 4 weeks solid. This also will cover a standard safety test to evaluate the safety of the product, if there's no breakouts, there's no allergic reactions. So the skin elasticity improved by 14.6%. That's where they take the skin and kind of pinch it out, suck a little bit of it out in the machine, and then we see how quickly it bounces back. This has to do with skin firmness. And the math was done also on these numbers, and it showed a very very strong improvement, being what we call highly statistically significant, meaning that the Lamiderm was affecting this quality or this parameter by a strong degree. And the next slide shows the wrinkle depth reduction. They use an instrument and they measure one wrinkle the same time every week. And it's interesting, that's almost 32% reduction. And they even measure, look at that on the bottom, minus 180 micrometers. They could see that that wrinkle reduced. Then the dark spot reduction was 68.6%. The herbal compound that I just showed you with the flowering herbs indeed reduced the dark spot reduction, and that was by about 68%. So in order to get the European approval on a safety study for a cosmetic, you have to do it the way they suggest to do it. 20 subjects, 4 weeks of continuous application, and we saw no complaints, no pathological skin disorders, no unwanted skin reactions. And these are looked at by clinical dermatologists, medical doctors that have their degrees in dermatology, and allergologists, they're called. They're know how to see if there's an allergic reaction to a cosmetic on the skin. So, lo and behold, Lamiderm received the 5-star seal of excellence. 3 stars are given for safety. 36-page safety report that we have here in the office. They analyzed every ingredient, the quantity of each ingredient, the safety level, and most of the ingredients are natural ingredients in this product, you know, by and large. Very low preservative, but, you know, meets the preservative like Whole Foods uses here in the United States. No breakouts, no allergic reactions. And then if even a cosmetic may be safe, but, you know, we went the extra mile, so to speak, or they did, and we got all these parameters like wrinkle reduction, elasticity, and dark spot reduction. So they gave us 5 stars. That's the maximum you can get. You get a 5-star guarantee that this product has met this standard, not allergenic. Then we, of course, evaluated the people using the product. What did you think about it? 87% said smoother skin, tighter and firmer, more supple. Now, again, remember that this, with your customers, they may say, oh, this is a little bit drying, or it doesn't feel like a moisturizer. Well, it's not a moisturizer. It's kind of like a semi-treatment for the skin. It's thick and rich with the ingredients that will soak into the skin, get down into those layers where the skin cells are, and activate them to produce these threads of collagen and elastin. Then when you're taking the Laminine with it, those same factors are working from the inside out. There are particular growth factors that can support these skin cells coming through the blood and the capillaries to the inside of the skin. So you get this effectiveness from both avenues, taking the Laminine and using the Lamiderm topically. Now here are 4 of the ladies that are also IBOs in Life Farm that started using the product as soon as it came out. You can see what's really impressive to me is the neck. You see all these before and afters on the YouTube, and cosmetic companies are getting a facelift, or they have all these methods now to stimulate, and that's just using the Lamiderm to tighten that skin around the neck, because those factors we saw the evidence, right, from the German study. They're really tightening the skin. You know, that's really good data that we did a good study like that. It doesn't, you know, we proved that it worked. And these are some good pictures showing the wrinkle reduction around the eyes. This is 4 different ladies too, see. Okay. So there's our lovely Lamiderm, and we're so proud that it turned out to be such a wonderful formula. No synthetic fragrance. We've used just a tad of citrus to make it smell nice. Aloe vera is a nice smelling neutral component. Hypoallergenic. There's no soap. There's no sulfates in it. And of course we give them, Mr. Cianto gives the money back guaranteed if you're not satisfied.